16 corners, a very twisty middle half of the lap, if that makes any sense, and two relatively long straights. The start-finish straight and then the back straight, bringing cars back down to the start-finish straight. And the news this weekend, not just a new circuit, but a new car, the 11th brand to join the TCR family. The Hyundai i30N TCR is here, two of them being driven by two of the most experienced touring car racers in the world. Gabriele Tarquini, you saw a moment ago, and Alain Menu. We'll be talking a lot more about them, I suspect, in the next half an hour. Free practice 1, free practice 2, and then qualifying today ahead of tomorrow's 2 TCR International Series races. And it's not a bad old day. It's been quite a misty, murky couple of days since we arrived here on Thursday. A mixture of, I guess, fog and smog of this quite industrial area. 4 men battling for the driver's title, and that is one of them, the two-time TCR International Series champion, Stefano Camini. He's already shrugging his shoulders and saying that this weekend is not going to suit the Audi. You'll see when the cars take to the track that it's a very twisty, tight circuit which runs up and downhill, quite a few elevation changes. And it'll be interesting to see how the dare I say it, the smaller cars, the Volkswagen, the Seat and the Honda get on this weekend. 21 cars entered. No issues in terms of scrutineering or problems with any of the cars. We're expecting all 21 to take the session this morning. And a few unusual names, a few drivers joining or rejoining. In the case of Rafael Galeana, you see there. He's traditionally entered the Asian rounds of TCR International. And Mr. Galeana joining the West Coast Racing team in the Volkswagen Golf, which promised to be so competitive here yesterday. It was Leopard Racing 1 and 2. Then it was Gianni Morbidelli in the West Coast Golf, 3rd. So Volkswagen cars taking all 3 of the quickest times yesterday in testing. But of course, that's fairly irrelevant in that we don't know what's happening with engines and tyres. The whole point of the test session, that it's not an official session as part of the TCR weekend. It's a chance for drivers to get to look at the circuit. You can see there the elevation change that I was talking about. That's the hairpin at turn 13, bringing the cars down from the, I don't want to call it the mountain section, but I suspect I probably will during this weekend, the twisty section that hugs the cliff that overlooks the track and then drops down towards the sweeping bends 14 and 15 before the tight left-hander at turn 16 that gets the cars back out onto the start-finish straight. The 1-minute board is held up, and so 1 minute away then from this first free practice session at Zhejiang. And I think everybody who's arrived here this weekend, several of the drivers were present for a media presentation just after the previous TCR International rounds at Buriram in Thailand. They came here to take a look at the place and meet the local media, and the comment was that it was very impressive, and I think we've all agreed when we've finally arrived and taken a look at the facilities here that it is quite a special little track, this one. I say little because Camini was quite vocal to us yesterday in his criticism, saying it's a little bit too twisty for the Audi, bit short, typical Chinese track. Several tracks built in China over the last year or so, and this being one of them. So seconds away then from starting this 30-minute free practice session at Zhejiang. You see there in the foreground the white Honda of Roberto Colciago, the black Honda of his teammate Attila Tashi alongside. 4 drivers effectively in the running for the driver's title with 4 races to go, 2 here in China, 2 in Dubai, which will round off the season in mid-November. There is Colciago returning to the series after missing Buriram because of the broken ribs he suffered in Oschersleben. So it's Colciago 4th and 3rd in the championship for Camini, Jean Calvinet, 2 points behind Tashi. They're carrying a maximum 30 kilos of success ballast. You saw there a moment ago the 2 Hyundais, what can they do? They've not registered the championship points, of course, because they're only doing the final 2 rounds of the season. So, we expect confirmation via an official bulletin later on that if they do qualify in the top 12 in Q1 this afternoon, they won't go through to Q2, because if you can imagine someone like Kamini, he qualifies 13th in Q1, and to be denied going through to Q2 by 2 cars that are not taking part or not eligible in the championship, that would make Mr. Kamini very unhappy. So the question was asked in the driver's briefing last night, and the answer given was that a bulletin would come out, but the intention was that the Hyundais would not go through to Q2. Say it's a 4-way fight for the driver's title. There are other drivers still in contention. Pepe Oriola, you saw a moment or 2 ago in the Lukoil Craft Bamboo car, 69 points behind Tashi. So potentially could lift himself back into contention this weekend with a win and a podium. There is Oriola. Putting himself back into the pits after an installation lap. Really, with 23 points off the grass in these final 4 races, in theory, anybody of the top 9 could still win the title, but really, realistically, you've got to say that it's going to be between the top 4. There is James Nash, and number 54, Lukoil Craft Bamboo car. Nash currently 7th in the standings, the runner-up last year to Kamini, but 83 points off the series leader at the moment of James Nash. Best of the Seats yesterday was Oriola and Nash's teammate, Dan Lloyd. Nash will also be wanting to get up on the podium. Speculation over the last couple of weeks of what he's going to be doing next year. It's that time of the year that drivers and managers' thoughts start to turn towards next season. Nash just dropping hints that potentially TCR International is one of the options he's looking at, as is a possible return to competing in the UK. Remember, a TCR UK series is launching next year. So Vinay in the background. We've not mentioned Denis Dupont making his debut in the TCR International series. Dupont, the winner of the Young Driver program from the Belgian national team. You see he wears the RACB colours. The Seat being run by Continue Racing, but very much a team within a team. So currently 17th and 18th, the 2 Hyundais. There is Tarquini, there is Alain Menu. Very light-hearted yesterday, talking to some journalists here about how the car is going on and the relationship. Combined ages, and this is a stat that I will refer to several times, I suspect, as the weekend goes on. The combined age of the 2 drivers in the Hyundais, 109. Tarquini is 55, Menu is 54. Years, decades of experience in touring car racing. The 2 of them have never competed in the same team. They've only ever competed against each other. We have 5 minutes of this session gone. James Nash currently quickest. His best lap time so far, 1:37.116. We had 1:34 here yesterday in the test. So those lap times will tumble. There is confirmation on the left-hand side of your screen. It's Nash from Frederick Vervisch in the Continue Audi. Jean-Carl Venet goes quickest with a 1:36.008. Nash on 1:36.357, and Rob Huff goes quicker again. So it's the Leopard, Volkswagen's 1 and 2. Huff on a 1:35.776. The first driver this morning to break the 1:36 barrier. Jean-Carl Venet 1:36.008. He's only 2 tenths behind his teammate. Sam Borkovic pops in a 3rd quickest time, ahead of Matteo Homola in the DG Sport Competition Opel. Only 1 car here in China for the team. Nash Gianni Morbidelli 8th, Alberto Colciago 9th, Tashi in 10th, David Kajaya in the other Alfa Romeo is 11th, then it's Tarquini 12th, Zhang Zedong in the Triple Z Audi, two of the local teams Audi's running this weekend. Zhang Zedong in 14th, and Aurelio Panis having just ahead of Gabriele Tarquini 12th. Panis, you remember, winner of race 2 in really around 5 weeks ago. He's looking down the order, and 15th, Ariola, second competitive lap time. Indy, Rafael Galliano, we mentioned earlier in the West Coast Volkswagen, and Jiang Tang in the second of the Triple G. Jean Carvenet goes quicker again though than Rob Huff, so Venet and Huff 1 and 2. James Nash having also broken the 136 barrier, 135.855, but Venet in a bit of a mission, 135.182, half a second, nearly 6 tenths of a second ahead of Rob Huff. An idea of the elevation change of the twisty nature, the middle third, probably the first 2/3 of this circuit. You'll notice that if we follow the Hyundai, Denis Dupont has gone off. That, I suspect, at the very least, will bring out the safety car. Menu, there is Dupont going off. And that's at just coming out of turn 2. You see the entry, the exit to the pit lane there in the back of the shot. Waiting to see what the race director Tony Whittaker will do. Dupont is moving again, but fluids are down. If you look behind the car, making his way down to the entry point, but what has been left behind? There certainly seems to be fluids on the ground. And while we were looking at Denis Dupont and his issues, Alain Menu has popped in a quickest time, breaking the 135 barrier, 134.591. So, nearly 6 tenths quicker than Jean Carvenet. The other Hyundai, 17th, something like 10 seconds down on his teammate, but one more of this session to go. Of course, we don't know what's happening in terms of tyres. The Hyundai's being new. Galliana across the track. The flag's waving furiously as Dupont goes through. There is Morbidelli going through, and Homola. The two Alphas, Kajaya and Dorkovic. It would appear that Galliana has stalled, or at least is. Oh, there was contact there with one of the Astra Vishu getting a nudge on the Come To You Audi. Yes, it can. So, no need for a safety car or indeed a red flag. Galliana gets the Volkswagen going and is heading to the track. There is Duncan Indy. It's growing with each event, but Duncan Indy at the moment has 7 a lap time, and indeed Dupont with a trail of blue smoke behind him. Serious damage getting up fluids around the floor. Indeed, you can see the car dragging the rear end. Struggles to get the car back around to the pits. There is Gianni Morbidelli. Morbidelli on 135.680, so just over a second down on turn 13. Signifies the end of the twisty mountain section. In fact, turn 12 previous left-hander. That is the corner that sort of signifies the end of the mountain section, the twistier cliff section. So Denis Dupont lots of very important people from Hyundai here in China this weekend seeking participation. Pit lane entry is just a matter of a few hundred meters away, so there at the bottom of your screen, Gianni Morbidelli, there he is, has gone gold in both sectors 1 and 2, picking his way past Dupont. Down to turn 16, the square left-hander, which gets Morbidelli back onto the start-finish straight. What can Morbidelli do? This looks like the quickest time. Across the line, and indeed third quickest goes Morbidelli. So just held up on that third sector. Dan Lloyd, green in both sectors 1 and 2. Tarquini now gold in sectors 1 and 2. So very much being laid down by the two Hyundais this weekend in the first official session. Bearing in mind we had the test yesterday. Tarquini crosses the line now and goes quickest. So Hyundai's 1 and 2, just over a tenth, splitting Tarquini from Menu. So the Hyundai i30N TCR, the first official session in the TCR International Series. First and second on the order at the moment. So it's Tarquini, Menu, Jean-Carl Venet, Morbidelli, Rob Huff, James Nash, Dusan Borkovic, Pepe Oriola, Frederick Vervish, Stefano Carini. That's your top 10. It doesn't look as though there's any serious damage to bodywork. The car is probably complaining slightly of its treatment being dragged around 2/3 of the lap to get back to the pit lane. But will stay on the car. Tarquini, as you see there at the bottom of your screen, improving still further. Best sectors in 1 and 2 for Tarquini. The only cars to break the 135 barrier. He comes up to the timing line now. No, indeed, loses it in sector 3, 1.6 seconds down. Leaving gold in sectors 1 and 2. There is Colchargo, there is Passion, 2 Miura Racing Hondas running together. The two of them still in the battle for the Drivers' Series. Colchargo currently 4th, 34 points behind his young teammate. Success ballast here in China. Chargo, of course, ballast free. Ended so catastrophically with that accident at the start of race 2, and resulted in the broken ribs, which meant he missed the previous 2 races in Thailand. So Oriola then on charge. Pepe Oriola currently in P8 with a 135.977. In sector 2, loses it in sector 3. Further back, nearly a second up in sector 2. That dramatic climb you saw there that gets the cars away from the lower level of the start-finish line up into this cliff section as Mato Homolo goes 7th. There is Tarquini coming into the pace. Paces on the good wheel for the team running the Hyundais. built by Hyundai Motorsports in Germany, but run by an Italian team here this weekend. And Tarquini having been involved with the project since it was first mooted back in March. And we found yesterday that Alain has also been involved from the early stages. Experience away from them. Invaluable to a team that's building a car not to race itself, remember, these are customer cars. So, as Tarquini was saying yesterday in some interviews that we eavesdropped upon, the car has to be easy to drive, has to be easy to adapt to different tyres, different championships, different driving styles, and they're all pretty confident that has resulted in a car that is just that, very easy to drive. Zhang Tang goes into the tunnel that takes the cars out of the pit lane and spits them out into turn 3. There he is. Currently, he is 18th. His teammate Zhejiang is 13th. Green sectors 1 and 2, Tashi green sectors 1 and 2, in between Huff and the Volkswagen, also green sectors 1 and 2, so the car is now tumbling. Who will be next to break the 135? Huff goes P4 with a 135.263, Colchargo goes P7, Tashi doesn't improve, still 14th at the moment. Tarquini, P1, Alain Menu, P2, Jean Calvinet in the Leopard Racing Volkswagen, P3, his teammate Rob Huff, 4, Gianni Morbidelli in another Volkswagen Golf, this one run by West Coast Racing, 6th, then goes the best of the Seats in 6th, then it's Colchargo in the Honda, then Pepe Oriola, Mato Homola in the Opel, Dusan Borkovic in the Alfa Romeo. Having been summoned to the race director after the session. I don't know what infringement he's accused of, but on my timing screen it just says driver and team manager of car 99, which is Rafael Galeana, to the race director. Oriola then, currently P8. There is Tashi. A few dramas for the Mira team yesterday. Tashi at one stage having a very empty engine bay. And we said to him, is there a problem with the engine? And he said, yeah, problem, but it was a testing engine. So the race engine goes back in, not a problem. So it's not an engine change. They used a test engine yesterday, and whatever the reason, whatever the circumstances, that was either very down on power or blew. He only did 5 laps of the test, so the frustration that he wasn't able to get to know the circuit well was pretty evident. Huff caught up behind Galeana. But Tashi in jovial mood, as we chatted to him yesterday for our event preview. So look romantic, but seriously not worried. And also, you know, we're not worried about the 30 kilos of success ballast. We're not worried about the whole issue of wanting to be light or heavy going to the final round. This is all about points now, and it's that stage of the championship where really only flat out will do. Similar story from Jean-Paul Venet, and a similar story from Roberto Colciago, who of course is making up the gap after missing. There he goes into the pits in the background, but Colciago making up that gap from missing Buriram. I mentioned David Kajaya, P11 at the moment in the Force Alpha, as Anna Menu gets pushed back into his pit area. Colciago comes down the pit lane, the Mira Racing pit right at the end of the pit lane, closest to the pit exit. Oriola improves to P6 with a 1:35.538, so a second down in the Honda. We've hardly seen Aurélien Panis, race winner from Buriram, won in race 2. Beautifully driven second race, a lights to flag victory for Aurélien. And boots in Zhejiang Honda Civic. Slightly odd situation after the races in Thailand, in that two drivers were on the same point for 30 kilos of success ballast. Tashi and his teammate Norbert Mikelic. Mikelic not here, and so he obviously doesn't have to take his 30 kilos. If he competes in the final round in Dubai in about 5 weeks' time, then he'll pick up the points, but I suspect he'll have business elsewhere at that time of the season. So no 20 kilos of success ballast allocated, so we'll do some work at it. 10 kilos this weekend. Is currently P16 in the Honda. No big changes then. Hyundai's first and second, Tarquini and Menu. Volkswagen's third, fourth and fifth, Huff, Venet and Morbidelli. And it's Seat's sixth and seventh, Oriola and Nash. Then it's the Honda of Roberto Colciago, the Opel of Matteo Hamilton. Alpha of Dusan Borkovic in 10th. 4 seconds or thereabouts splitting the top 10 currently. So a good mix of brands in the top 10. But the Hyundai's laying down a marker that they're very serious about this. And clearly they want to start selling cars. First customer deliveries, we're told, will be made in December. So the team constantly tweaking and updating the car, lots of testing having gone on, but as they keep telling us, and a bit of a mistake there from Roberto Colciago. Oh, indeed, no, sorry, that was turn 2. My mistake. Colciago coming out of the pits, being warned by the flag marshal there that Panis was coming up on a flying lap. Driver on track, of course, on priority. So Colciago is pausing. 5.5 minutes of the session remaining. A moment ago. These are the cars that everyone is watching this weekend, and the test and development work that's gone on at circuits like Valencia and Vallelunga has clearly paid off. But as the team keeps saying, there's nothing like competition, and actually you know where you are in terms of one car on a track at any one time, but you don't know where you are in terms of the opposition until you get out in an event like this. But indeed, Hyundai i30N TCR. Great first session in the TCR International Series for them. Gabriele Tappi in first, Anna Menu second. And the cars that we thought we suspected would be good here, the Volkswagens of Huff and Venet. David Kajaya has popped in a time which has put him P5 with a 1:35.276. Then it's Morbidelli, who's just as I say it, popped in a P4 time. So Morbidelli split the two Leopard cars. So it's Tarquini, Menu, Huff, Morbidelli now, and then Venet. Then Kajaya at 6th, Oriola and National at 7th. Then Colciago in the best of the Hondas 9th, and Dan Lloyd in the other Lucol half bamboo car. And as I say that, down to 11th. busy hours. Let's follow Zhejiang, because I know from experience that we have an awful lot of Zhejiang fans in Georgia watching these live streams, so it's the middle of the night for you, and so we're very grateful for your company wherever you're watching us in the world. This is the TCR International Series. 2 races this weekend tomorrow, but today being Saturday, it's 2 free practice sessions and then qualifying this afternoon, the usual 2-stage affair, all of which will be streamed. 2 races also broadcast around the world on various TV stations tomorrow. Some anxious looks there from the G-Force mechanics. Colchargo goes green in both sectors 1 and 2. Menu goes gold in sector 2. That's entertaining. Green in sector 1, so his best sector 1 time, the best sector 2 time of all. There is Tarquini, there is Zhejiang. P9, and James Nash down to P10. As Tarquini comes into the pits. Zhejiang, though, stays on course for the running line. Zhejiang currently 6th. Just over a 1/10 of a second apart. Zhejiang in a 1:35.276. Vorkovich in a 1:35.410. And then the challenge having failed in the 3rd sector. So only 3 cars have broken the 1:35 barrier. Tarquini and Menu in the 2 Hyundais and Huff in the Volkswagen. And this weekend will be the last time that we see Rob Huff in the TCR International Series this year. A change in venue of the final round means that Mr. Huff has other duties, and so will not be joining his teammate Jean Carvenet in Dubai. I'm very surprised if the second Leopard car is vacant, because Jean Carvenet very much in the fight for the driver's title, and he will want some kind of decent teammate alongside him for that final round to help him defeat 1, 2, possibly 3 other drivers. There is the car that's quickest so far, with just a fraction over a minute of this session remaining. Gabriele Tarquini, a 1:34.449. Menu. Zhejiang takes the timing beam, and no indeed. 6th quickest. Oriola has done his best sector 1 and his best sector 2. So, Pape Oriola currently P8. There he is. Day-glow yellow corners. Through turn 14, the quick right-hander. Turn 15 is this very quick left-hander, and then down to the square left that leads onto the start-finish line. And Oriola will improve from P8. Indeed he does, P4, so Oriola, just a whisker behind Rob Huff, also breaks that 1:35 barrier. So Tarquini and Menu 1 and 2, Huff 3rd, Oriola 4th, Morbidelli 5th, Jean Carvenet now 6th and in the pits, Zhejiang 7th, Vorkovich 8th, Colchargo 9th, and James Nash 10th. Dan Lloyd, Matto Homola drop outside the top 10. Menu on a charge, Huff on a charge, so Menu goes gold in sector 1, Huff goes gold in sector 2. Outside my commentary box window, the checkered flag is waving, so the session officially at an end. Huff comes round the final corner to take the checkered flag, and indeed goes P1. Rob Huff goes quickest of all on a 1:34.344. There is Menu, I believe, at the back of that. No, indeed, his challenge fades. So, Rob Huff, it would appear, has denied Hyundai the honour of being quickest at their first TCR International Series official session. That was dramatic. So it'll be Rob Huff that has the the glory and the interview at the end of this session as to how he got on. So Rob Huff, with a lap time of 1:34.344, just pops in a quick lap right at the end of that session, denying Gabriele Tarquini the quickest time. Tarquini in the pits, Alain Menu has taken the checkered flag, Oriola is still on track. The others have all either, and indeed in comes Oriola into the pits. He won't take the checkered flag, so that's how things are, and indeed confirmation on my timing screen that Oriola is in the pits. So every one of the 21 runners has either taken the checkered flag or is already in the pits. So it is Rob Huff in the Leopard Racing Volkswagen Golf who set the quickest time in that first free practice here at Zhejiang, ahead of Gabriele Tarquini. There is Gabriele. Alain Menu P3, Pepe Oriola 4th, Gianni Morbidelli 5th, Jean Calvinet 6th, David Kajaya 7th, ahead of his teammate Dusan Borkovic, Roberto Colciago, the best of the Honda drivers, in 9th, James Nash in another of the Leopard Craft Bamboo Seats is 10th, just ahead of his teammate Dan Lloyd, who is 11th, 2/10 splitting those two British drivers in the Lukoil Craft Bamboo team. And then looking down the order, it's Mato Homola P12, Aurelian Panis 13th, Zhang Zhendong 14th, Frederick Vervish 15th, Stefano Camini 16th. And if you're wondering what's happening, just in free practice 1 and 2, after the cars have taken the checkers flag, they can come round and just do a practice start on the run down to the pit lane entry. So then let's get confirmation of the results from this first free practice session. Rob Huff takes the honours with a lap time of 1:34.344, just over a 10th quicker than Gabriele Tarquini. Then it's Alain Menu, Pepe Oriola, Gianni Morbidelli, Jean Calvinet, David Kajaya, Dusan Borkovic, Roberto Colciago and James Nash. That's your top 10. Then it's Dan Lloyd, Mato Homola, Aurelian Panis, Zhendong Zhang, Frederick Vervish, Stefano Camini, Attila Tashi, Tengi Zhang, Raphael Galliana, Denis Dupont, and Duncan Indy. We have lost somebody because that's your top 20. There are 21. Now on my timing screen, Dupont is 20. Tell you what, let's not talk to the quickest man. Let's talk to the man that everybody I suspect will be talking about, Gabriele Tarquini.
Gabriele Tarquini, welcome back to car racing at the top level. And how was it this first session?
No, the car seems very good. I'm very happy with the performance, very happy to drivability. I mean, I think the long job we did on the last few months pay off, and the car is really a pleasure to drive. I mean, our end enjoy, and I think this car is really enjoyed to drive. And we will see about the performance because we are a newcomer in the season. I need probably to come back with a race weekend atmosphere because I lost in the first part of the season. But we are ready to be there and to fight for the maximum.
And of course, Zhejiang, new for everybody.
Yeah, Zhejiang is new for everybody. This is a small advantage also for us because we are new on the championship, probably in a different track or in the track used by the TCR last two seasons is a big disadvantage for us. For everybody's new track, we are discovering this track. I mean, it's very nice to be in China. I think this track is fabulous in terms of infrastructure around the track, garage pits, and the area around the track itself. It's very good for our car. I think match really well with the characteristic of TCR cars, and we hope to do a good show for the Chinese fans.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Gabriele, as I was saying earlier in the session, paying tribute to the track, saying how much he likes it. He was a little unsure when he came here for the media event following the previous TCR International races in Thailand, but he's had a look at the track, and clearly it suits the Hyundais, P2 and P3, but first honours from this weekend goes to Rob Huff. That then is free practice 1 from Zhejiang. We'll see you later. Bye.